Hello, welcome back to my channel. We have a full class today that is based on back to basics. So this does not mean that it's going to be any easier. It just means that we are going to work a little bit slower and we are going to think about just our form quite a lot. We've got no equipment, no noise, and it's mostly classical based Pilates moves or modifications for those Pilates moves. So I really hope you enjoy, and I hope you manage to switch off throughout this and just work with you and your body. So whenever you are ready, all we need is your mat and we can get straight into it. We're just going to start with a nice warm up today. So we're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position onto your mat. Just take a moment to make sure that those knees are in line with those hips and then those wrists are in line with those shoulders. We're just going to start with some cat-cows to connect to our breathing. So let's take a big inhale through the nose. As you stick your gaze forward, arch that tailbone back. And then as you exhale through those pursed lips, let's round that spine up to the sky as you squeeze through those deeper abdominals. We take an inhale to look forward, tailbone arches back, really lengthen out through your chest, through that upper spine. And then we exhale to round the spine up to the sky as you think about drawing those ribs down to those hips. So in this position here, when the spine is rounded up to the sky, we're really thinking about engaging through your deeper abdominals before we start moving. So even though we are mobilizing through the spine here, really think about squeezing through that midsection. Let's just go for 2 more here. So exhale, we round up, just really take this time to connect. And then inhale, we stick that tailbone out. Stunning. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to find somewhere in the middle of those 2 positions where you can feel that your core is squeezed and where you can feel that your back is nice and flat. Take an inhale to lift that right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Take a look towards your palm, take a nice rotation. And then as you exhale, we're going to thread that right arm all the way through and under your left, dropping that right shoulder to the floor. We're going to go for 2 more here. So inhale, we reach and we sweep all the way up, get that nice rotation. And then an exhale, we scoop it all the way through and under. This should feel really nice on your upper back, especially on that upper portion of your spine. So really reach and twist. And then thread it all the way through and under. Stunning. And then whenever you're ready, pop that right hand all the way back down onto your mat. We're going to do exactly the same on the left. Inhale, we reach and we twist all the way up, get that really nice stretch. And then exhale, we thread it all the way through and under. A big inhale, we reach and we twist all the way up to the sky. Open up through that chest. And then an exhale, we thread it all the way through and under. We have 1 more here. An inhale, we reach and we sweep all the way up. And an exhale, we scoop it all the way through and under. Stunning. And then whenever you are ready, popping both of those hands back down onto your mat. We're just going to gently warm up through your core now. So let's tuck those toes under behind you. Think about that nice flat back. Draw those ribs down to those hips before we start moving. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to hover those knees just an inch or 2 up and away from your mat, and then we're going to inhale to drop them back down. Exhale, we're going to raise them up. Inhale, we're going to drop. As we raise those knees, I want you to really think about that scoop coming up from those deeper abdominals. Exhale, we raise. Inhale, we lower. Stunning. We're just here for another 4. 4, 3. 4, 2. And on this last one, let's hold those knees lifted now. So exhale, we raise, we hover, just a gentle hover, and we just keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We drop those knees down, bring your heels together at the back, sink your bum back to your heels, lengthen those arms out into your child's pose. Really think about reaching those fingertips as far forward as you can to separate through those shoulder blades and just get this really nice stretch. You can rest your head onto your mat if that feels good for you as well. And then whenever you are ready, we're going to slowly bring ourselves all the way back up to your 4-point kneeling position. We're going to work through some bird dogs from here. So let's just make sure that you've got some room behind you and some room in front of you. Center yourself through your hips and through your core. So we don't want to be rocking from side to side here. The whole point is to work with control and stability. We're going to start working with your left leg first. So take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, let's just extend that left leg long and behind you. Squeeze through your glutes and hamstrings, and then inhale, we scoot the left knee back in line with the right. Exhale through those pursed lips, we extend. And inhale through the nose, we draw it back in. You try not to lean over too much towards the right side. Square off those hips to your mat and think about the center being through your core. We're just here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, last one, reach the left leg away, hold it there if you can. Now take a big breath in. As you breathe out, let's try and raise that right arm up and away from your mat, coming into that full bird dog position. Once you've found your balance, let's move both together. Inhale, we scoop it in, and then an exhale, we extend it long. Inhale in, and an exhale, we extend it long. We're here for 3. Inhale in, exhale, extend. Try and minimize that rocking. All about control. For 2. Last one, we hold it long. Hold the left leg, hold the right arm long. Take an inhale, we're going to drive that right elbow back, squeeze through that upper back. Exhale, we extend. Inhale, scoop. Exhale, we extend. Very nice, you've just got 4 more. Really reach those left toes away. For 3. For 2. Last one. Hold it here. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, slowly roll it all the way back in. Bringing that knee back, again sinking your heels together. Bum comes back to your heels, we lengthen out into that child's pose. Give those wrists a little bit of a roll out whilst you are here at the back, just lengthen out any of that tension there. And then we're just going to come straight onto the other side with this one. So bringing ourselves back into that 4-point kneeling position. Again, knees are in line with those hips, wrists are in line with those shoulders. This is all about just waking up through your center, okay? So square off through those hips. Think about those shoulders separating away from each other, so we lengthen through that neck. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, we extend your right leg nice and long now. Reach those toes away. Inhale, we draw it back in. Exhale, we extend long. Inhale, we draw it back in. Beautiful. You're here for another 6. 4, 5, really think about the connection from the ribs to those hips. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one, we hold it long if we can. Take a really big inhale. As you exhale, extend your left arm long up and away from you now. Once you've found your balance, we move both together. Inhale, we scoop it in. Exhale, we extend it long. Inhale in. Exhale, we extend it long. You're here for another 3. For 2. Last one, we hold it long. Keep the right leg nice and long now. Take an inhale to scoop the left elbow back, squeeze into the upper back. Exhale, we extend long. Inhale back. Exhale, we extend. Finding that balance, keep your center. We're here for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one, we hold it long. We take an inhale. As you exhale, we scoop it all the way back in, bringing those heels together at the back, sinking your bum back to your heels. And again, let's lengthen out into that child's pose. Just give those wrists a little bit of a roll out from here. Circle them in both directions just to release any of that tension off. We have a tiny little bit more on these wrists before we just remove from them in general. Okay, so from here, coming back into that 4-point kneeling position if we can. Wrists are in line with those shoulders. We're elevating from your chest, so those shoulder blades are drawing back and together. We're then going to tuck those toes under if you can. We're going to come back into that little knee hover, but we're going to hold it this time. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we scoop through the core, we hover those knees, we hold. From here, we walk one of those legs out into your high plank, followed by the other. Beautiful, really nice. What we're going to do is exhale to raise one of those legs up 2 inches. Inhale, we pop it down. Exhale, we raise. Inhale, pop it down. We switch legs each time. Exhale, raise, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, pop it down. We're here for 5. Inhale, down. For 4. For 3. For 2. Last one, hold this one lifted. Take an inhale, we rock forward. Exhale, we rock back. We're here for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Pop this toe down, we do the same on the other side. Exhale, raise. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. You're here for 3. For 2. For 1. Pop the toes down, drop onto the knees, and again, sink the bum back to the heels. Lengthen those arms out and give those wrists that final little roll out from here. We're just going to swivel ourselves around onto your mat to come into a seated position if we can. You want to make sure that you've got some room in front of you and some room behind you to move. So what we're going to do is start with your feet flat onto the mat. Your knees are shining up to the sky. We're holding onto the back of those thighs. Draw those shoulder blades up and down, open up through the chest and hold the chest open. We take a big inhale through the nose. As you exhale through those pursed lips, we're going to scoot back through your tailbone. Begin to find your half roll back position. When you feel like those feet are going to lift, we pause, take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, we restack the spine, come all the way back up to the top, lengthen up tall through the crown of the head. Beautiful. We have another 5 here. Exhale, we scoop it back, rock off those sit bones. We take an inhale here at the back, find that C curve. Exhale, we come all the way back up to the top. You're here for another 4. For 3. For 2. Last one, we're going to hold it back. Exhale, we scoop and we hold. Take an inhale. Now as you exhale, we let go of those thighs. We lengthen those arms nice and long. We carry on with those half roll backs, but with these arms long now. So take an inhale here. Exhale, we scoop all the way back up to the top, re-lengthen through the crown of the head. We take an inhale. Exhale, we scoop it back, just through the tailbone, just through the spine. We take an inhale here. Exhale, we come all the way back up to the top. We're really thinking about those shoulder blades staying down and together at the back. And this motion just coming from the lower portions of your spine. Drawing those ribs down to those hips and keeping that chest nice and open. We're here for another 3. For 2. My hips keep clicking. I really hope that no one can hear them clicking. On this next one, we're gonna hold it in your half, roll back. So scoot back, take an inhale from here. As you exhale, we raise one of those arms up beside your ears. Bring the bicep to the ear. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, we raise the other arm. Inhale, we lower. We're here for another 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. Hold it here. Hold those arms in line with those shoulders. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, we try and raise both. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, we raise. Inhale, we lower. This is where your core will start to shake in this point. Mine definitely is. We're here for another 3. For 2. And last one. Hold the arms up overhead. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those arms back down, restack the spine, just reach towards your toes and take a little bit of a forward stretch here. First my hip starts clicking and then my shoulders start clicking. It just never goes well. So we're going to lengthen those legs out nice and long now. If you've got longer legs like me, they're going to hang over the edge of the mat. It's absolutely fine. We just need enough room to roll all the way back. So you want your legs to be hip distance apart, heels are pinned into the mat, toes are drawn back towards your shins so your feet are flexed. Lengthen those arms forward. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to scoot back just into that halfway position again. Begin to roll back just halfway. Take an inhale here at the back. Exhale, we scoop ourselves all the way back up to the top. We re-lengthen through the crown of the head again. We have another 5 like this. Exhale, we scoop. We draw the ribs down to the hips. We take an inhale here at the back, and then we exhale to come all the way back up to the top. Beautiful. We have another 4. Just for 3. Still in for 2. Last one here. Let's reach all the way up towards those toes, come into a forward fold from here. Try and really reach towards those feet and get that chest as close to your thighs as you can. We're now going to take this into our full roll downs and full roll ups. So just reaching those arms away, just think about those shoulder blades already drawing back in together. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, we're going to scoop through that tailbone, begin to roll that spine all the way down to the mat. 1 vertebrae at a time. Just use those exhales when it feels like it's a little bit too much. There'll be a point where your core wants to give up. It's going to be about here. Try and fight through it and just really work nice and slow. Rolling all the way down, we raise those arms up over your head at the back if you do have room. Take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, we're going to scoop up through those abdominals, restack the spine, press the chest bone down, and then come back into that forward fold. We take a few pulses here at the top. We take a big inhale. As you exhale, we begin to scoop through the tailbone. We round and roll the spine all the way down. 1 vertebrae at a time, fighting against that point where you really want to give up and where your core wants to slam down. At the back, your head reaches last. We raise the arms up. We take a big breath in. We breathe out, draw the ribs down to the hips, press the chest bone down. We restack the spine, come all the way back up into that forward fold. We have another 3 here, just taking those pulses at the top. And then we slowly scoop. We exhale through that movement. If you've run out of breaths, just take a mini inhale and then continue with that exhale as you begin to roll that spine all the way down, lengthening those arms up over your head. We have another 2, a big breath in, a big breath out. We roll ourselves all the way up, big squeeze with that chest bone all the way down. We come into those forward folds. We take a few mini pulses here. Take a big inhale, we exhale, scoop ourselves all the way down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Really breathe, round and roll, all the way down, lengthening those arms up over your head. We have one more. Take a big inhale. Exhale, we scoop the ribs down to the hips, reach the fingertips towards the feet, restack the spine, come into that forward fold. Taking those mini pulses. Beautiful. Whenever you are ready, we're going to restack that spine now. We're going to bring those hands just behind your head with your elbows wide. We want to try and think about those shoulder blades drawing back in together at the back. The chest stays open. This time, what we're going to do is exactly the same, but your elbows are going to stay here. It's going to feel a little bit more tricky. So take a big breath in. As you breathe out, we round and roll the spine all the way down. One vertebrae at a time. Don't let those elbows cave inwards. Keep them just in your peripheral vision. Take big breaths in and big exhales as you round and roll the spine all the way down. Take an inhale here at the bottom. Exhale, we press the chest bone down. We draw the ribs down to the hips. We lift ourselves all the way back up, and at the top we take a little spine stretch forward. Again, those mini pulses here at the top. We're only going to do 2 more like this. So restack the spine, lift up nice and tall, open the chest. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, scoop and round through the lower tailbone. Round and roll all the way down. Fight that point where your core wants to give up. You don't have that momentum from your arms now, so really think about that squeeze. We take an inhale here at the back. As you breathe out, we lift ourselves all the way up, pressing the chest bone down, drawing the ribs down to the hips, coming into those little spine stretches forward. Taking a few pulses here. From here, we restack the spine, sit up nice and tall, open the chest. Take a big breath in. We breathe out to roll the spine all the way down. One vertebrae at a time. Really breathe through it. Nice and slow. All the way down. We take an inhale here at the back. We exhale to scoop the chest bone down. Draw the ribs down to the hips. Lift yourselves all the way back up into that spine stretch forward. And hopefully as we've moved through this, you'll notice that your chest can get a little bit closer towards your thighs now. You've gained that flexibility back in your lower back already. Whenever you're ready, we're going to restack that spine all the way back up to the top. Shuffle yourself forward if you need to, because we are going to roll down and we're going to stay down now. Just lengthen those arms out nice and long. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, scoop through your tailbone, begin to round and roll that spine all the way down. One vertebrae at a time. And then let's just place your hands onto your mat just beside your hips. We're then just going to bend those knees up to the sky. Bring the soles of the feet onto the mat and then shuffle those feet a bit closer in towards your bum. So you want to be able to touch the base of your heels with your fingertips. If you can't, they need to shuffle a little bit closer. We're just going to start with working through the roll of your spine in your bridges. So just planting your hands down, take a big breath in. As you breathe out, we tuck the pelvis under. We begin to peel the spine up and away from the mat, all the way up to the top of the shoulder blades. We take an inhale here, and then we exhale to slowly roll the spine all the way back and down, one vertebra at a time, from the top to the middle to the base. The tailbone hits last. We take an inhale, exhale, we begin with that tuck. We round and we roll all the way up. A big inhale at the top, and then an exhale, we slowly roll the spine all the way back and down. So you'll notice as you work through with this rolling motion, especially in this portion here, when the tailbone wants to hit last, you're going to really think about that core connection. So exhale, we peel the spine up. Inhale at the top, we drive the knees forward. Exhale, we roll the spine all the way back and down with the tailbone hitting last. It's quite a hard motion to gauge, especially if we're used to going to the gym and especially if we're used to hinging those hips. Getting that spinal mobility back is going to feel quite challenging to start off with, but just keep working through it, because the more that you do this type of movement, the easier it's going to become over time. We're just going to stay here for another 4. Exhale, we tuck under, peel the spine up and away. We inhale at the top. Exhale, we slowly round and roll all the way back and down. We're here for 3. For 2. On this next one, we're going to hold it up into that bridge. So exhale, peel the spine all the way up and away. We hold it here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we raise those arms just up in line with those shoulders. Inhale, find the mat again with those palms. We're thinking about that hold through the rest of your body. Exhale, draw the core in, raise the arms up. Inhale, we lower those arms back down. We're just going to stay here for 4. Exhale, raise, draw the core in. Inhale, we lower. For 3. For 2. Last one, we hold those arms lifted up in line with those shoulders. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we raise both of those heels up and away from the floor, keeping those hips up nice and high. We inhale to slowly return those heels. Don't let those hips drop. Exhale, we raise, we squeeze. Inhale, we slowly drop. It's all about that stability. And again, as you breathe out, really think about engaging through those deeper abdominals. We want to keep those ribs drawn down to those hips. You're here for 3. Exhale, raise. Inhale, lower. For 2. Last one, everyone. We're going to hold those heels lifted. Take an inhale, we drop those hips just 2 inches down. Exhale, we raise those hips 2 inches back up. Inhale, 2 down. Exhale, 2 back up. You're here for 6. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower those arms as you peel the spine all the way back and down onto the mat, drawing the belly button back with the tailbone hitting last. Really nice. Lower those heels once that tailbone is down onto the mat. What we're going to do from here is just make sure that we can still touch those heels with your fingertips. We're going to come into your full shoulder bridges now. So option 1, you can have your elbows wide. When you peel up into your bridge, you can pop your hands just underneath the base of your lower back to give you a little bit more support. Option 2, you can have those hands just down beside you. That will give you a little bit less support and you're going to work more through your legs. So choose your option. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to tuck the pelvis under, peel the spine all the way up into your high bridge. Take an inhale at the top. Exhale, we're going to extend your right leg all the way up to the sky. We're going to take a big breath in. Exhale, flex the right foot, we lower the leg down. Inhale, point the right toe, we reach and sweep. Exhale, we flex and lower. Inhale, reach and sweep. You're here for 4. For 3. For 2. Last one. Reach that right leg all the way up with control. Find your mat again with your right foot. We then roll the spine all the way back and down, drawing the belly button back to your spine. We're going to do exactly the same on the left side, okay? So take a quick moment, make sure that your feet haven't lost position. We take a big breath in. As you breathe out, we peel up into that high bridge. Remember at the top, if you would like that support, grab that support at the top with your lower back. We take an inhale. Exhale, we lift the left leg all the way up to the sky. Take another big breath in. Exhale, flex the left foot, we lower it down. Inhale, point the left toe, we reach and sweep. Exhale, flex and lower. Inhale, reach and sweep. You're here for 4. For 3. For 2. For 1. Carefully find the floor again with your left foot, and then we roll the spine all the way back and down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Once you're at the bottom, just give those knees a little hug into your chest. Take a little rock out from side to side if you do need to. We're going to come onto some more core now, so just place the feet back down onto the mat for me. We're going to raise those arms up in line with those shoulders with your palms facing forward. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, we're going to press those palms down, round and roll the spine up into your abdominal curl. Draw the ribs down to the hips. And then we inhale to slowly roll the spine all the way back and down. Exhale, we raise from those ribs. We lift up into that curl up. Inhale, we slowly return. That mini pause at the top when we're in our curl up is just going to help us to connect even deeper to your abdominals here. So again, we're thinking about keeping that chest nice and open. And really just thinking about that connection through your midsection. We're here for another 4. You're here for 3. Really round those arms forward. You're here for 2. On this next one, we hold it lifted. So exhale, we reach, we round, we hold it high. Keeping those shoulder blades lifted like we did before in those half rollbacks. Exhale, we raise one of those arms up beside your ear, bring the bicep to the ear. Inhale, slowly return. Exhale, we raise the other. Inhale, we slowly return. We're trying to think about keeping that belly button ground down to your mat, keeping the connection from the ribs to the hips. You're here for 3. For 2. Last one. We're going to hold those arms forward, hold the head and shoulders rounded. Take an inhale. As you exhale, try and raise both, just to a point where you can feel the core lengthen and where you can still keep the head and shoulders lifted. Exhale, raise. Inhale, lower. You're here for 4 more. For 3. For 2. Last one, we hold those arms lifted. See if you can lift that chest up an inch further. We hold. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those arms down with control. Lower those head and shoulders down as well. Give that neck a little wiggle from side to side if you need to at the back. Just release any of that tension there. What we're going to do from here is plant those arms down to your mat, pin the palms into the mat as well. We're then going to raise those legs into your tabletop position. Keep a connection with your core. So you want those knees to be in line with those hips here as well if you can. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, we're going to extend a single leg long and away from your midsection. And then inhale, we draw it back into tabletop. Only lower this leg to a point where you can control through that lower back and through that core. So if this is feeling like a little bit too much, extend the legs high up to the sky. That will take that pressure away from your lower back. Exhale, we reach. Inhale, draw it back in. You're here for 4. Inhale, back in. For 3. For 2. Last one, hold this leg long, whichever leg it is. Grab a hold of your other leg that's in tabletop. Give it a hug into your chest. We hold onto the knee and to the shin. From here, we lift ourselves up through your head and shoulders. Finding your single leg stretch. We exhale, hug this knee in further. Inhale, you switch. Exhale, we hug in. Inhale, you switch. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, we switch. Really nice. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, we switch. You're here for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Hug the knees into the chest, lower the head and shoulders. Stunning. What we're going to do is plant those hands just down by those sides again. Whenever you are ready, we find the tabletop position with those legs. We're going to begin to find your double leg extension from here. So keep a connection with your core. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, try and extend both legs long and away from you. And then inhale, we draw them back into tabletop. If this feels like too much, you can extend your legs again, straight up in line with those hips. So straight up to the sky. That will take that tension away from your core. We're here for another 4. Inhale in. For 3. You got it. For 2. Last one. Hug the knees into the chest. Grab a hold of either shin now. We're going to lift up through those head and shoulders, round yourself up into a little ball. We're now going to come into your double leg stretch. When you extend your legs, extend them on the same angle that you just found. Take an inhale. As you exhale, extend both legs, both arms away from your midsection. Inhale, we scoop the arms around, we hug the knees back in. Exhale, we extend long. Inhale, we hug it in. You've got it. Keeping those head and shoulders rounded if you can. We're here for 5, for 4. My shoulder's clicking so bad. For 3, for 2. Last one, we extend, we hold. Hold the arms, hold the legs, keep breathing. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We hug the knees into the chest, we lower the spine down, give the neck a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. We're going to find your single straight leg stretch now. So the same thing that you did in that first exercise just then, this time both legs are going to be straight. Let's straighten one leg up to the sky, grab a hold of your calf and your hamstring, lift up through the head and shoulders, pull your chest towards your thigh. The other leg is then going to shoot long, it's going to hover away from the mat. Same thing, take a big inhale, exhale, hug this leg in further, inhale, you switch. Exhale, hug in, inhale, you switch. The more that we work through this one, the more length you're going to find through your hamstrings. Inhale, you switch. We're here for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Last one, we hold this leg in, whichever one you have. Bring your other one to meet it, so both legs are up in line with those hips now. Option 1, arms go forward. Option 2, fingertips at the temples. We take an inhale to lower the legs away. Exhale, we raise them straight back up. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, raise. You're here for 6. This one's really hard. We lower them down, we raise. For 5. For 4. For 3, for 2, last one, and slowly grab a hold of those legs, hug the knees into the chest, lower the spine down, give your neck a little bit of a wiggle from side to side again. We have another exercise to do down here. So again, with the fingertips beside the temples like we ended on last time, we're going to hug one knee into your chest. We're going to lengthen the other leg nice and long, hover it away from the mat. Once you're here, we're going to exhale to twist your opposite knee to opposite elbow. Inhale as you switch, exhale, we switch again. Inhale, center, exhale, we switch. We're in your crisscross now. Exhale, twist. Inhale as you switch. You're here for 6, just for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. And slowly give those knees a hug into your chest, lower your upper body all the way back and down. So within that, we did do the classical abdominal 5 series. We just broke it down a little bit to find your single leg extension and your double leg extension before we went straight into it. It's always a good little prep to do before we do that series, I think, just to find the angle of the legs. We do have a little bit more core. We're going to come back to raising those arms up in line with those shoulders, palms are facing forward. Find a core connection, take a big breath in. As you breathe out, raise both of those legs into tabletop again. We're going to come into your 100. So from here, take a big breath in. As you breathe out, lift up through those head and shoulders, reach the fingertips forward. From here, we pump from those shoulder joints, just like this. We inhale for 5, and we exhale for 5. We inhale for 5, we exhale for 5. Inhale for 5. 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 Exhale for 5. Final one, inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. And with control, lower those arms back down, hug the knees into the chest again. Give your core a little bit of a rock out from side to side from here. Okay, we are nearly at our stretch now. What we're going to do is hug the knees into the chest again. We're going to point through those toes, and then if you can, we're going to use our core strength to rock ourselves up to our seated position. What I need you to do is hug your knees in as close as you can to your chest. Think about that round through the spine like we found in our half roll backs. You're drawing your ribs down to your hips. From here, we're going to find your tailbone balance, so both toes are hovering away from the floor. Take an inhale as you roll yourself back to your shoulder blades. Exhale, we scoop ourselves back up to your tailbone. Inhale back, exhale back up to that tailbone balance. We're just getting that energy moving through that spine. Just to finish us off, we're here for another 4. For 3, use the strength of those abdominals to lift yourselves up. For 2. Last 1. Stunning. And just pop your feet down for me. What we need to do is make sure again that we have some room in front of us. We're going to come into a nice sore stretch. So let's make sure that those feet are just in a nice straddled position. So just nice and wide onto each corner of your mat. It does feel a little bit better to do it wider for me. So what we're going to do is bring those arms out into a wider T position. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we're going to twist over to one side of the room just with that chest. As you inhale, we're going to reach ourselves forward, reach towards the outside of your foot. We take a few little pulses from here. Exhale, exhale, exhale. We come back to that T. We do the same on the other side. We twist, we rotate around. We then reach your hand towards the outside of your foot. We pulse, we pulse. We pulse and we come all the way back up to the center. We're going to go for 2 more on either side. Exhale, we twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pulse. Pulse, pulse. We come back up to the center. Big inhale, big exhale. We twist with the chest. We reach. We pulse. We pulse. We pulse. We come all the way back up to the top. We have 1 more. Exhale, we twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pulse. Pulse. Pulse, come back to your center. Final 1, exhale, we twist. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, pulse, pulse, pulse. Come back to your center. Let's bring those arms now just in front of us. Draw those shoulder blades down and back. Let's take a little spine stretch forward. So reach those arms forward. Try and walk those fingertips as long across your mat as you possibly can. And then just hold this here for a few big inhales through the nose. And exhales through the mouth. Just really letting everything melt down and just reconnecting with that steady breathing pattern. And then whenever you're ready, just walk those hands all the way back towards your body. We're just going to finish off in a nice butterfly stretch today. So let's just place the soles of those feet together. Knees come out nice and wide wherever you are sat. We're going to draw those shoulder blades down and back, open up through that chest. We take a big breath in, and as you breathe out, just gently forward fold over your body. Try and think about guiding those knees down towards your mat, and just hold this here for a few big breaths. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then if anyone would like a little bit more today, you can just walk those hands all the way across your mat, wiggling those fingertips nice and long, and just taking that deeper forward fold from here. Just lengthening out through any of that tension that you've just built up. And then whenever you are ready, just walk those hands back towards your toes once again. Let's just sit with those legs nice and crossed now. You can sit however you would like to on your mat. We're just going to pop those hands onto your knees if we can, and just finish off with some backward shoulder rolls. So just circling those shoulders up, down and around. Think about just sitting up really nice and tall through your posture. We're going to pop those shoulders into those back pockets, nod your chin into your chest, and just draw some semicircles from side to side with that chin. Just lengthening out any of that tension that you may have built up just then. Stunning. Let's come back to your center, and that is you all done. Really well done today. It was a back to basics Pilates class. The basics are really challenging. So these are like the mat fundamentals I do build up to in my classes. So like you will have seen in that abdominal 5 series, for example, we did a few progressions in there. We take everything nice and slow and we work with our breathing. It doesn't mean that it's any easier. It is always going to be challenging because there's always so much to think about. Breath, control, stability, the whole shebang. But yeah, it's really nice to slow down sometimes, have no extra noise, just you and your mat. And I hope you all really enjoyed that. And I really hope to see you next time.